Hello and welcome to the morning meeting. Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Jimmy. His name is Maddie, and it's the morning time, 9:25 in the morning here, Wednesday, June 26th. I think you're listening to this on Thursday, though, and some tunes to start your day. All right, welcome back to the morning meeting. Thank you very much for joining us today. If you enjoy this channel, please subscribe. We're going to be talking about the World Cup, the warehouse, and some new partners and ad deals behind the scenes of that. And we have some questions from you guys, as always. If you want to ask questions for next episode, leave them in the comments and we'll skim through them. We've had some guests host in my absence since I was through a very busy stretch in June. My sister, my mother, Sam. So thank you to them for holding on. And I think at some point, Courtney is going to do one a month or something like that.
Yeah, that's my understanding too. Courtney kind of doing one guest spot per month, which is fun.
Yeah. And we might go to 3 episodes a month instead of one every single week, just to give it more time to breathe. So there's always something to discuss. Because like right now, this is chock full of stuff.
Yeah, for the regular listeners out there, this is an episode that you will enjoy. There's a lot of good stuff and a lot of big items to discuss in here, and I'm excited for it.
Me too.
Got some questions at the end, so I forget if you said it, but if you didn't, make sure to leave questions down below, and we will answer those in next week's episode.
Yes. All right.
Do you want to start with what is the most likely title of this episode and the reason it came out on Thursday rather than Wednesday?
Oh, yeah. We have a fun announcement. You might have seen it elsewhere on social media. I know Jake and I did a little video. There's some stuff getting released. I think we're using like our PR firm to actually release this. But we have partnered with Bally Sports Regional Networks to give them the warehouse games. So that's probably not the right words. They are licensing warehouse games. We have sold some of the rights to warehouse games to be shown on linear television. Bally's will be airing the warehouse games. That's a bunch of different ways you can say it. Very, very exciting. Been in the works for a really long time. Really excited. June 30th, they'll start airing on 17 different regional sports networks. So I think the way I've put this in context for people that is the most exciting is, okay, you're in Michigan. You're an Ooper. Did I say it? Upper Michigan? A Youper? Yeah. And you're watching the Tigers game on Sunday, June 30th.
Yep.
And then the game ends and you leave Bally's Detroit. Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I hope that's one of our regions.
I think it is.
I know the Tigers are Bally's. I don't know if it's one of our 17. And I don't know. It's called Bally Sports Detroit. Okay, so say you're doing that. You leave the Tigers game on. You go hang out with your family. Post game's on. You go in the backyard and have a catch. You come back in. Bally's is still on. Now you're watching Drew Davis, Jimmy Norp, Jack Doyle. I use Drew Davis and Jimmy because they're from Michigan,
right?
That area. Play in the warehouse. Play in floorball, blitzball,
slapball.
Is slapball going? I think it is. Wow, that's crazy. So yeah, and that's across 19 or 17 different regions. So it covers a lot of the U.S.
Yeah,
it's not like it. They use the word regional because each network is for their region, but Bally's is really almost more of, you have to think of it more of a national station. Like when you combine them, that's when we met with Bally's way back, he was telling us, like, we actually have it's a national thing. It's just like if American Idol was like American Idol for Detroit and American Idol for Arizona. Mm-hmm. So I'm super excited. I think the main, I'm trying to wrap my head around this, and I don't want to insult anyone, especially not. A lot of the common reaction, I think, will be Bally's, aren't they going out of business? Or no one watches TV. But a lot of people watch TV still. I try to tell that to our younger kids in the office, like, most of the world's old. The 50-plus demographic is out there. And they're going to enjoy watching Jack Doyle pitch blitz balls. Or they're going to enjoy Chris Rose shitting on these young kids in the warehouse. So it's really, really cool for discovery and for legitimacy. So like the behind the scenes, the business side, being a digital creator and selling to a linear brand. That doesn't happen. It's very rare to do that. Anyone can make stuff for YouTube. Not anyone can get their stuff bought by linear TV networks. So really proud. And I'm really, really proud of this because nobody asked for it. Nobody really saw the vision for a little bit. But I had like a very big vision and goal. And when we started editing these, I remember, with Prizeman just going back and forth, like, no, it's got to be perfect. Like, don't edit this for YouTube, edit this for TV. And you say, why? And I say, because I think it's going to be on TV one day. And that's why for Blitzball Battle, we have the song after the innings that I can't do music, go like out, and then it comes back in, because that's how a TV broadcast would do. And now guess what? We just put ads in there. Like Bally's just going to go to commercial at those breaks. It makes a ton of sense. But we've always wanted the quality to be television production because I always thought the ceiling was that we can sell it to TV stations and we can get it going. So, and that was from the very beginning. I mean, I remember being in this office after Blitzball Battle 1, which was Sony Handycams and GoPros. And sure, like for us, it was a huge production, but it didn't look as crisp as when we changed all the cameras to really nice cameras. But I remember saying, hey, slap ball, or I would say slam ball is on TBS and spike ball is on ESPN. So why can't blitzball be on TV?
Yeah.
And people were kind of like, what? And credit to Jack Davis, early investor and board member, because he came to the office once and he saw all the jerseys and saw some of the edits. And he was like, oh, I get it. I see what you're like. I see the ceiling that you're seeing. And it was the first time someone was like, now I'm not upset with anyone else. It's a crazy vision to just jump on that and be like, okay, yeah, sure, we're going to do it. But I am like really, really proud of us that this deal exists. And I hope that we continue to grow. And, I was talking to Rose about it when we were filming Floorball, and he's like, well, I mean, the news of this is going to be pretty big, that these digital creators sold a sports league to linear, and that's going to get all the head honchos of networks and productions perked up, because it's going to be like in the trades, like, wait, what's this?
Yeah.
And Rose is like, and when you get more eyes on that, you're going to get more interest in what they can. And we've already, before announcing this, had another big company reach out and say, we want to work with you on warehouse games. So it's very exciting. And it won't leave YouTube, if anyone ever was wondering about that. It's always going to air first on YouTube, but they will re-air, and they're re-edited for linear. Some other stuff that makes this really exciting is like at one point Bally's was going to do like a media day so they can film commercials and promos. So they would air across their regional networks, and that would be really fun. I think that's still in the works down the line. So yeah, that's the big announcement. I could probably keep talking, but I'll let you ask any questions and allow myself to gather thoughts, because I had one more that I'm searching for and I lost it.
Okay. Yeah. Take a sip of your drink.
Yeah, I like
in the meantime. No, this is very exciting. There are not that many YouTube creators that make that transition over to linear, and the ones that do are the ones that have like very big names. And to join that group of really the first part of YouTube that makes that transition is very exciting to me.
The other thing I was going to say is I've always tried to tell people in-house, like I had a conversation with Zoe once walk in. I was like, don't compare what we're doing to like high-end YouTubers who make one-off videos.
Yeah.
Because that's not really what we're doing. Or that's not how I see it. So like, because I never had the limited scope of this is for YouTube.
Right.
The quality was always way more important of production and entertainment than the immediate views. And that's why we allowed ourselves to invest in this and let it grow. But, when you compare it to upstart sports leagues, the views and the live views that we get, smoke them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? So that's always where I've been like, no, because when we go to sell this, it's not like we're selling a one-off video to linear, and you can't really do that. So that's why the whole concept has always been series and tournaments and big packages and for TV, because my end goal, and that's not the end goal. Like, there's still so much more I want to do and can do, and we'll get there slowly as it happens. But obviously, I want the YouTube views to go up. But it's like making a television show on spec. Like, basically, we took an investment and said, hey, we have this concept for a show. We're going to make it, and then we're going to shop it around. That's how TV used to work.
Right.
But instead of shopping around, we just posted it publicly and then it was like proof is in the pudding. Oh, people like this. Oh, the quality's good. Oh, they know what they're doing. Because like if you watch, there's a documentary on American Gladiators that was really interesting. The first season was very similar to The Warehouse, but they got like an investment from a company to go make the first season, and then they shop that around.
Right.
There's similarities there, and that's more what my mindset has always been, is like this can go other places. It's not just, if we wanted to YouTubeify it and that was the end goal, is just to be on YouTube, we could have done some different stuff. And there are things we're doing to help, like the YouTube views and promotion, but the main leagues and the main tournaments, I've always wanted them to be able to grow elsewhere.
Yeah. Really awesome.
Yeah. Shout out to everyone that's worked on it. I mean, which is everybody. Everyone's put so much hard work into it. Kyle sent me a nice text when he heard the news. It was just like, so you're telling me the thing we're doing in The Warehouse that we just blindly were like, okay, Jimmy, is this on TV now? Like, yeah, it's cool. And The Warehouse just filmed, maybe it's best tournament in a while. Yeah, no, definitely. It's the Floorball. It doesn't come out till September, so I always hate to promote it. I think everyone walked away saying that's the best collection of games, like no dud games, and energy and camaraderie amongst like new guests and new players we've had, and that's not to like knock that past ones were bad. We just keep building and building. Yeah. It was so good.
Yeah, and it was also, I was not there, but hearing the stories.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. I'm excited to watch it. Hearing the stories, though, a lot of the times, like you said, there's no dud games. That's somewhat luck-driven. Like, there very well could have been a dud game, but it just seemed every update that I was getting, it was like, holy crap, how was that game better than the last four? Like,
yeah,
it is insane.
And the most amount of drama we've ever had on a championship game ever. And I won't spoil it again until September.
Yeah.
So, good shit.
Yeah.
That's The Warehouse.
Yeah, that's really awesome. The next thing that I wanted to dive into is related to TV as well, because it's the reason that you've not been on this channel for a little while. You were off covering the Cricket World Cup. Do you want to give a brief recap of just what that whole experience was like and what you learned from it?
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, it was really good for me to be out of my element and a fish out of water and feel like a shy kid at school again, because I moved every like 3 years. So that was a kind of reoccurring thing was, this is I don't know what I'm doing and I'm shy and I got to make new friends. Haven't had that feeling in a while. I don't know if I said this on here, but Katie joked with me. She said, well, yeah, you built your whole life as your comfort zone. Mm-hmm. You build a company, surround yourself with your friends and your family.
Right.
And talking to mics behind screens, which is my comfort zone. And I was like, that's kind of true. So it was really good, actually, to go out of my comfort zone. And I think doing that will help me talk in public or to the company better. Like, I still get nervous when I address the company, like a big room or orientation for floorball. Like, I've always tried to like just do that quick, not bother people. And then this one, I think because I went somewhere new and I was a new person at this cricket event. So when we did the floorball orientation, I was like, no, I'm doing this presentation. I'm going to talk about it because Warehouse is like my baby and I want everyone to understand. So I did the presentation way more thorough and talked with more confidence and like, at least I felt I did.
Yes. Yeah.
But then the cricket was cool. Everyone was very nice. That was the coolest thing. Like, I was the only American there. All the commentators, it's their job, then their profession, and they're professionals, and they just basically threw an amateur in the booth with them and said, help guide this kid along. So I felt a little bad, but they were really, really nice and kind. And the first two games, I felt like the one in Dallas and the first one in New York, I felt like I'm not making the most out of this opportunity. Because it's one thing what I'm talking about in the booth during the games, and I was the third voice, so you're not going to talk that much. And I also, when they threw it to me, they would ask baseball stuff, which was nice. I understand the audience was like, please stop comparing baseball. And then when I felt good to have my own contributions and what I was seeing, but I was talking to Trev about this. Three-person booths are so hard. You think of something to say, and then the game moves, or someone else jumps in with a different convo. So you just have to pocket those thoughts constantly,
right,
until you can get it out. So that was hard. There was one stint where it was just the two of us, me and Ebony, because the third didn't show up. He got famous cricketer. He got the public as he was walking, like he couldn't get through. He got mobbed, and that was actually very scary, but easier because we just chatted. And that was the India-Pakistan game, which was a lot of people. But Ryan, who came with me, and there's a question about him later, like day 3, I was like, hey, let's get social videos. Let's go film on the field. Let's film behind the scenes. Let's make, let's take advantage of this. And then I felt really good because the ICC collabed with a ton of stuff. We went into the crowd and watched some overs from there, and that got like 5 million views on Instagram.
Nice.
It might be up now. And it wasn't like content, like a social breakdown or anything like that. It was just me watching the match in the stands, but because they collabed and they have 30 million followers, it got like 5 million views, I think. I'll check where it's at now. This video we did of all the cricket players holding a baseball, that's got 1.8 million views. Yeah, this video of me in the stands has 2 million, but I think there's another one that went crazier. So then I felt good about that. Yeah, 5.4 million.
Wow.
Views on Instagram, just me in the crowd. Yeah, if you look at our thread, we did a lot. I was like, just post everything as a reel, Ryan. Let's just get everything out there. We're here, and we have this opportunity. So then I felt good about it. And it was fun. Cricket was fun. I'd never been to a game before. I didn't really say that loud.
Right.
Because I understand the silliness of it. But yeah, I got more comfortable as I went, for sure. In the booth.
Cool.
Yeah. It was good.
How did you interact with a lot of the players at all? Team USA, maybe a little?
Yeah. I got a report. I got a scoop.
Okay.
Journalist.
Right.
Well, I went down to the field before USA India, and I said hi to the guys. I was talking to Corey Anderson. He's very kind to us and nice. And then Cheyenne walked out. I took a picture of him right away when he walked out because he was in sleeveless shirt. All of his teammates had sleeves, mustache, I don't know, bandana or hat or something. And I was just like, this is awesome. So I said hi to him. He was like, hey, the people like me now. They didn't like me at first for ball and play. So he's following that along. And then he goes, I'm facing first ball today. And I thought he was fucking around, just joking because he's a character and funny. He hadn't played in a lot of the matches leading up to that.
Yeah.
So if he was going to play, I didn't think they were going to make him face first ball against India.
Yeah.
Because especially on that pitch, the openers got out crazy early every game. And then I went and said hi to Jones, and he's friendly. Like, they're very friendly. Jones was trying to get Joes to come Because Jones has done stuff with us now 3 different times. So I was talking to Jones, and he was like, yeah, media's crazy. I've been doing so many interviews. And then I said, Father Shea said he's facing first ball. Just like playing along with the joke in my head. And he goes, oh, no, he is. He's like, Patel's out. And I was like, what? So then I was doing the pregame show on the field. And I just went and told Neroli that. And she's like, oh, tell the producer. And I was like, all right. I was like, I'm not trying to get like in trouble. Like wasn't fishing for this from them. But yeah, I think, and they're like, they got to change the graphics ahead of time and like prepare for it. And they're like, good job, Jimmy. Way to go. I was like, all right. I was just chatting.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny. That was really scary. I did the pregame show. I don't know if you can rewatch it anywhere because a lot of the games you can find on Willow. I did the pregame show for USA India on the field. And you do like a practice run, and there's a monitor on the grass. So there's pictures of me, and I'm looking. Just looks like I'm looking down, lost. But that's where like the monitor was, and they show like the opening batsman, and then the middle order, and the bowlers, and you have to like just have one line for each of those slides as they go, and then all 11, and then we had a little combo after it. And you couldn't hear shit. It was so loud. Indian crowd was so loud, and the music was loud. I think I did well. Actually, I felt like I did well, but my feet were shaking with nerves during that because it's live and you're on camera and the crowd is watching you.
Yeah. What, you said it's your first cricket matches. What was that like being like a cricket fan to then go? And like
it was cool because there's so much you don't see on the way they broadcast it. And I don't know how they would do a better job showing you. Like the boundary size matters so much. So but it goes so fast. So like if I'm a righty at this New York ground, the first game they played on, there's 4 lanes, like bowling lanes, you would think, that are the pitch. And each day they used a different one, or it wasn't always the same. So if you're all the way on from our view, the left one, well, now the boundary sizes are different, where if you're a righty facing the north end, your onside or your pull side is close.
Yeah.
And oppo or offside is far. So during those 6 balls, you're going to try to attack that short boundary. Whereas, okay, now the next over goes the other way. If you're a righty, now you have the long boundary that you can't hit a 6. So you're going to swing completely different. And seeing that was, I was like, oh, you can't, that's not part of the broadcast, the boundary sizes. And the announcers might say it, but like visually you can't see that. They do a good job of fielder placement. And every time the batter rotates, if it's a righty and a lefty, all the fielders switch.
Right.
So there's just so much movement going on, which and little stuff like how they throw a ball around, which I asked that on the comms during the game. Like, is there an order? Because in baseball, there's a specific order. You throw third base, second, short, pitcher, or to first base, shit like that. So it was fun to see.
I'm more or less a bandwagon USA fan. Yeah. Are you sad that the US is now eliminated? Because like for me, I didn't expect it. I was like, England and West Indies, 2 easy wins. Like
why?
Because we're the USA. Like
England won last year. No, I was just the first match against South Africa. They were in like competitive, and that was awesome because it wasn't like they didn't belong to be in the Super 8. Because with the rainouts, I don't know. You could say they just got pushed through if you wanted to, but I think they belonged. They belong there, and then England needed to get their net run rate up to advance their run differential, so they had to crush them, and they did.
Right.
They could really put their foot down. But no, I mean, I'm not upset because them making it to the Super 8s guarantees they're in the 2026 World Cup, and they're hosting the 2028 Olympics in LA, and there's going to be cricket there, and they're guaranteed in that as the host country. So it's not going anywhere.
Right.
And now people are going to see that they're competitive, and more people that can't play for Team India or can't play for Pakistan or West Indies or South Africa are going to see there's an opportunity here. And I hope more. And then also So they might come over and then get their 3 years by 2028, see if they can make that squad. The other cool thing that I hope happens is the like expat community that loves cricket, that have 12 to, or 10 to 14-year-old sons.
Yep.
Or women as well. There's women's cricket in the U.S. Now see this and like, oh, I want to go, and find academies near them. I think the infrastructure on academies and like coaching in the U.S., hope that needs to grow to facilitate that. But I think there is probably a lot of talent that loves the sport already in the country that just didn't realize this was an avenue for them. So that's cool.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I mean, I don't really know anything, but watching the U.S. West Indies game, the commentators said that. They were like, oh, there are a lot of children in the U.S. already playing cricket. You might just not realize that.
Yeah.
Cool. You see this bullet point here? Do you want to talk to this at all?
Yeah, I mean, this is about some of the coverage. I did everything, and I leaned on Kiana for news media coverage. I leaned on Kiana. I was like, hey, just make me do this. I'm going to regret it in this 2-week stretch if I don't.
Mm-hmm.
The whole reason, not the whole reason, but a big part of doing this is to get the company exposure in areas we're not. So everyone that reached out for an interview, we basically said yes to, or podcast. So my days were full. So we did an ABC news story. Did that come out already?
I haven't seen it, but
I think it did. They came and filmed me for like the ICC, which is the International Cricket Council. Like basically the World Series behind the scenes DVD. I did an interview with Telegraph UK. I did SNY. I did ICC Social has a feature on me. More that I can't think of. I just did a Yes Network because they have the rights to. They just bought the rights to the MI New York, which is a cricket team from Major League Cricket that eventually will be based out of New York once they have stadiums and everything, which is insane. That now Hal Steinbrenner is partnering with like the Mumbai Indians owner. Like they want to do joint venture shit, I think. And then now Yes Network's calling me to help them with cricket shit. It's like I just positioned myself so well for all this, which is really cool. But yeah, from June 1st until June 22nd, or last Sunday, I had one off day.
Yeah.
And that off day was my daughter's 1-year-old birthday party, so we spent the whole day setting up the backyard and entertaining and hosting. And that was my one day without work in a 22-day stretch. So by the end, I was exhausted, and Katie and I were, it needed to end. So I've had 3 days of regular 9 to 5. Well, this is my third, and I'm already like, happier.
You mentioned Claire's birthday.
Yes.
Other than it being a long day, it was a good day.
Yeah, her actual birthday was 2 days ago. But yeah, the party was good. I mean, then we had Talkin Yanks event down the shore after that, so it was kind of crazy.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're reading the sheet, but you're just going in order at this point. I wanted to ask about the event down the shore, how you thought it went and everything.
It was fun. I mean, logistically, it was kind of hard. Father's Day, Sunday night game is... And then we had to record after and then be in the office Monday. So like the logistics of that, when I like wrapped my head around that, I was like, oh my goodness, what the hell? But no, meeting people was fun. The bowling alley was fun. Wiffle ball in the alley was fun. And just like interacting with the crowd was good. James liked being on mic. So
he loved it. Noke Sport asked a question, said, do you guys plan on having more events like last night in New Jersey? I really enjoyed, and I can only attend in New Jersey. Think this is going to be like potentially an annual thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Events are a very interesting thing for us. Like when the Yankees are in the postseason, I think we want to do a bunch of events for away games and watch parties if we can. They're a lot of work. So I don't know how much. We're going to strike a balance of it, but I'm not sure. Probably have to regroup and make the plan for next year and see what the number is. Like we don't want to do 0, but I think like we're never going to do 1 a month or anything because a lot goes into it.
Yeah. All right. We have a few just quick hitters and we'll wrap ourselves out of here. Wanted to ask quickly, speaking of the Yanks, you did a solo Boone with Jake out of office yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's probably the saddest Bantering with Boone yet.
Of this season?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't make it sad. I just kind of, because it's still June, but I just wanted to, I kind of just did like rapid fire, like asking about the bullpen people and getting into conversations. But I don't know, I felt like I could have done a better job of getting conversational instead of just informational, but so much change has happened with the roster. And Jake did a solo one while I was at the ICC. So that was really good too. He did a good job. So I felt like I didn't do that great of a job yesterday, but not bad.
Okay. I've yet to listen, so I will listen. Wanted to talk about We Got Ice, as they've gone on a crazy run recently. They had a stretch of, I think, 5 or 6 days in a row where every day their channel got over 1 million views. At one point on YouTube, it was them and the main channel, like far and away getting the most views. And a lot of those views, interestingly, are coming from not outside of the United States. So they have this one short that's gone crazy. It's an old short from last fall, but it's gotten over 7 million views in the last month. A lot of those coming in the last 2 weeks.
From Indonesia, huh?
Indonesia, Russia, India, all more views than the United States. And then Philippines, Thailand, Brazil, all right up there as well. So it's like very even, Indonesia being an outlier, but it's interesting. I don't know if that's like ball and play driven, if we're promoting.
I have no idea. But yeah, we've been getting a lot of new audience for ball and play from India. I don't know if Indonesia's majority of these views. The top 2 comments are about cricket, or top 3. Top comment, cricketers, no ball. Then the next one is nightmare for cricket batsmen. The next one is air swinging full toss, and full toss is a cricket term. So we did it.
We did it. We also did it with our Grimace Mets shirts. That it has become the biggest moment shirts of the year.
I think biggest shirts of the year, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I know it's a moment shirt, but I think it's our best selling shirt of the year, barring any.
Probably.
Yeah. So how about that?
Crazy.
We're a Mets company now. There are a lot of Mets fans in this company, and the Grimace thing was fun. And I think Sarah tackled it and made like 4 designs like the first night.
Yeah.
And every time we post them, they crush. Like every time we repost the link,
yep.
They've been selling. They're really fun. There's probably, every time we post a link, there's probably like 5 comments like, who's going to buy this?
Yeah.
And then there's like a ton of people buying it and enjoying it and just like not being a cynical online person.
Our head of merch, Patrick, said like every time we post a link, it just bumps like, 100 more sales, 100 more sales.
It's crazy. So go Mets, go. Besides tonight, because I don't want to sweep the Yankees.
True. Let's talk a little bit business as well before we dive into the questions of the day. There are exciting new sales logos, and people seem to be really excited. You've seen a number of these, T-Mobile, Sony Music, we've talked about publicly before as well. But people just had nice things to say. Cameron, dude, the fact that you're sponsored by T-Mobile now is absolutely awesome. Keep going. Love it. Your local Leo, LMFAO, the ad read, missed call, T-Mobile has you covered. So people really seem to be supportive, which is cool to see.
Yeah, our audience has always been really nice
Yeah.
and appreciative about that. The T-Mobile one was also, like, I didn't get the views I thought I was going to get on YouTube. It did on Twitter and on TikTok and the other apps, which I guess is just kind of the way like things are going a little bit. But it was the Seattle one, and that had everything.
Yeah.
I got a text from Raul Ibanez, and he was like, this was awesome. I was like, yeah, that one had crowd stuff. It had like wild moments, had lip reading. It was funny. So then we gave it to T-Mobile. And I didn't even put together that it was T-Mobile Stadium. If I did, I would have mentioned it.
Right.
Jeremy asked me, like, did you know? I was like, nope, just dumb and lucky. He said, better to be dumb and lucky than smart, I guess.
Yep, that is the case. All right,
and we have more coming too.
Oh yeah,
there's been really fun, good movement.
Yes, there are a good number of logos in the pipeline still that will really excite people when they potentially come to fruition. All right. There are 3 questions. So remember, if you made it to this far in the episode, hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and make sure to leave a question that we can answer next week down below. But we have 3 more for this week. Zach asked, what is Ryan Cohen's role at Jomboy Media and how did he get started? I feel like he showed up out of nowhere. Now he's one of my favorite people.
Oh, wow. Way to go, Ryan. I don't know what Ryan's title is, but he's helping with mine and Jake's personal socials, building them up. I think I talked about this role on here.
Yeah.
That's how we got applications.
Yep.
So Ryan heard us talking about it on morning and applied. And yeah, my Instagram was at 64,000 followers when he started. It's at 270 now. Just got to post. You got to post like 3 times a day minimum if you want to grow an account on Instagram.
Yep.
And then you got to have, so if you post 15 a week, one of them takes off. The rest just keep going. And yeah, it's been really good. And learning stuff and going through old content. He also really helped me out with ICC, like World Cup obligations. And I think I have some more ideas for him to help out as well. So that's his role. And he's been, doing Jake's as well and rehashing some old funny shit and putting them out there.
Yeah. It's been good to see some of the funny moments of the past come back.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy, I think every now and then there's comments like, why are you posting old stuff? I think people get tricked. So I was like, we should work on the caption to make sure it's kind of clear this is old or like a throwback. But yeah, some of them I have 100% forgot that they exist. And then I'm like, oh shit, that was funny.
Yep. Brett asked, really enjoyed Jeff Passan on Talkin Baseball. Has there been a thought to have a writer like Jeff or Eno Saris come on regularly with Jake and Trev, maybe like once a week, similar to Ken Rosenthal on Foul Territory?
Ken Rosenthal probably gets paid a ton of money, or I think he's part of that show, like investment group that on there. And Passan, I don't think they want to do it regularly. I don't think we want to do it regularly. So I think it's just here and there when we can. It's guest spots are logistics. So no.
Yeah. The guest spots we have is like Foolish on Wake and Jake.
Yeah, that's a consistent one.
Yeah.
But the logistics around it and then them having to be on the schedule. And we change our schedule a lot because we have so much going on right now. So it gets tough.
Makes sense. And a fun one to wrap us up from Gene. He said, is this where I can ask? Okay, sorry. If so, I was wondering what happened to the Watchin 7th Heaven episode you all posted on Instagram a few months ago.
Well, I spent like a full day editing that 12 different ways to see if I could get it to go on YouTube without getting instantly blocked.
Yep.
And I diced it up so it changed cameras every 4 seconds. So there was blurs. So the audio was different, all this stuff, and instant block every single time. So that's when we get the website and there's like Jomboy Media Plus for a bunch of perks when it comes to merch and events and discounts and in the know stuff. There's also going to be some like content that we've never been able to post that we can now post there. And we could even like film some if we had time in the off season to like post there. So right now that episode is just on a hard drive somewhere. It's like an hour long.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
We've got stuff in the backlog that won't see YouTube, but could see other places.
Yeah.
All right. Good ep. Mikal
you.
Bridges to the Knicks. How about that?
Wow. No idea.
Yeah.
All sports are over now besides baseball.
Yeah.
Unless MLS is going on. Those guys are always upset.
It is.
Okay. Besides baseball, MLS and MLB, the MLs are still going. Thank you for watching. See you guys later. Goodbye.